This is a demonstration of the built-in functionality for the voting module of Erachain. The voting module example. Voting at the election of the e-cooperative Erachain Academy. As you see, we have the voting process, which is similar to all voting processes, where we again select from submitted candidates the one you would like to vote for and confirm the transaction. The voting results will be calculated by the system automatically based on the number of voters and their strength of votes. So as you can see, this is usable, not just for voting based on plurality, but also voting based on majority. So this is suitable for enterprise use as well as for public-private use when we talk about voting schemes or various types of voting methods and modalities. Next, we have blockchain technology provides great possibilities to increase transparency in the electoral processes. The voting results can be clarified in the Block Explorer. Now, this vote has no validity and is intended only to demonstrate Erachain technology. Please note this. So, when we look at the voting, we see that there are a number of persons participating in this vote, and they have a certain number of votes which are allocated to them based on plurality and also based on majority, or what we call asset votes and personal votes. Personal votes is the plurality votes, and asset votes are the majority votes. So this is essentially applicable again to any voting system usable for enterprise, government, public-private use, and so forth. Now you can see that each vote or each individual for whom the voting is being done or who is voting also has his own personal ID and registered history of transactions and also various types of information in relation to this particular individual and what he has done on the blockchain. So, for instance, he has created or delegated his votes to other people. This is also a possibility. So in other words, a person can vote in absence by delegating their vote to another individual. And again, when we look at the delegation of votes, we understand that one person out of, let's say, 10 people will have more votes delegated to them than others. And this can be applicable for corporations, where a CEO has a substantially more number of votes than other employees. So he's able to always control the decision-making process based on still a fair and equitable voting system. Now, we come back to, again, how the voting system operates on Erachain. And it uses two aspects. One is the Era token, which essentially allows you to access the system, to utilize it for voting purposes. And then Compu is essentially to execute and to execute the transaction. So each vote can be considered as a transaction, an action on the blockchain. And in this way, every action is fully trackable, and of course, every acquisition of the Era token is registered, and the owner of this token is registered. It can be either anonymous or it can be full disclosure of the individual's details and ownership of the token. This is again depending on the preferences of the user and the goal of the operator of the voting process. I hope this has been clear. I hope that this presentation has given you a clear picture of how the voting module and voting process is implemented on Erachain technology. All the best.